Good evening, good evening, good evening. Welcome back. I'm back. Welcome back, and I'm back. I have been not here. So I'm super excited to be here on this Thursday. Thank you, Lord, Thursday is what we're going to call it because it really has been a week already. Nishonda Larimore here, your hostess with the mostest with Transplant Talk with Nishonda. And this month, if you do not know, my goodness, if you do not know, it is Organ Donor Month. It is Organ Donor Month. And if you know me, you know how very special this month is to me. So I'm asking for your prayers because they are really, really sincerely needed for this month of April. And since I'm mentioning that, I'm still wanting to encourage everyone to become an organ donor. You can actually see it in the chat, or you will see it in the chat later on. And if you are looking for someone to be a living donor for, because yesterday was actually Living Donor Day. So for those wonderful people who became organ donors to give someone a second or a third or maybe even a fourth chance at life, thank you all for what you do. You can also go to DonateLifeFlorida.org, put in this information, and become an organ donor. Um, and y'all always know, I always want to know where everybody is from. So, where are you from? Where are my Georgia people? Where are my Texas people? Where are my California people? Even if this is a replay, then I still want you to tell me exactly where you are from. If you are an organ donor recipient and you would like to be on the show, please leave a comment and leave your information. Um, you can also come here, the Transplant Talk. We have our own website, say1000lives.squarespace.com. And that was absolutely that website was done by my incredible, gifted, beautiful, talented oldest daughter, Chanel Jones, who organized and fixed my website for me. So thank you, baby. She is great at what she does. And they are my parents. I always feel like I can start my show when I see one of my parents, my mother and my father. I know they're always together. But when I can do it, I can start it when I see one of them or both of them. So thanks, mom and dad, for always tuning in. So today's guest is from right here. I didn't have to go far, guys. I did not have to go far. Um, she is a Viking. Okay, she went to the great William M. Raines. I think I really said that right because my husband graduated from Raines High School as well. And what a coincidence that she is a classmate of the wonderful, great, may he forever rest in peace, Leonard Wayne Larimore. And so when I met her, um, my husband and I was on the phone and he said, look, I got company. And so she was there at Mayo meeting her classmate. And ironically, they were both there for the same thing. So it's been a while because since I've started this, I've always sent her a little message like, hey, you ready now? You ready? You ready? And y'all know everything is in God's divine and perfect timing. So she sent me the message and she said, hey, she's like me. When the Lord tell you to do something and he touches your heart to do it, you better not sit on it. You better not sit on it and you better move quickly and rapidly. And she was obedient and she did that. So I'm always grateful. I'm telling you, I'm always grateful for someone reaching out to me and say, hey, I want to be on your show and tell my story. So there are plenty stories to come. I hope you all have been enjoying these 7 days of replays for the month. So every day at noon, and at 7 p.m. today we are live. But I will be replaying a video from the guests that have been on the show all month long. And let me give y'all this secret. Well, it's because y'all don't know, but my dad, y'all, I got an awesome dad. I have an awesome dad. He is supporting my mission to get people to become organ donors, but also register for my YouTube. Okay. My daddy telling everybody to become subscribe to the YouTube channel. So y'all see it right there, right? Y'all see it. So I need you all to become subscribers to Transplant Talk with Nashana, because our mission now, we're trying to get 100 people this month, or 100 people to subscribe, or 100 people to register to become organ donors. So we got a lofty mission today or this month, but I think we could do it with your help. So please make sure that you all subscribe and I hit that notification bell so that you know. So we are not going to delay this any longer. And I want to bring on my special guest for today. All right. And we're going to call him Miss Presley Fetrell. Presley. And again, she's from right here in Duval County. Y'all know I'm a Dade County girl, but I've been in Jacksonville now as long as I've lived in Miami. So eventually, no, I ain't never saying that, but we in Duval County. Okay. We in Duval County. I love it here. This is my home and this is where my children are. So we're gonna start this show. She is a heart transplant recipient and warrior. All right. So without any further ado, let me bring on. Oh my goodness. I'm sorry. Don't look at the red carpet. Okay. So without any further ado, I'm going to bring on my guest for today, Miss Presley. Miss Presley. So y'all welcome her to the show. Welcome her to the show. Hello, hello.
Hi.
Y'all see her? She's beautiful. You're never supposed to look like what you've been through, and here's a prime example of God's grace and mercy shining upon her. And she is still here to tell her story. Thank you for wanting to tell your story on the Transplant Talk with Nashonda TTWN Nation. Welcome, welcome, welcome.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here. Pleasure to talk to you. Pleasure just to be a part of this whole journey. I call it a journey.
Yeah, because I believe 2017 or 2018, you were in Mayo, or you were at Mayo to start this
Yes.
journey,
Mhm.
right?
Yes.
So before we even started Transplant Talk with Nashonda, she was already a part of our lives until unfortunately, hi Sora, unfortunately to my late husband passed away. So she's still here to tell the story. You know, somebody got to tell a story. So it's a very interesting story. All the stories I have on the show, they always blow me away, because you see what strength um all the patients have to continue to keep going. You could have given up, but you kept going. So tell the audience, I'm gonna shut up. Tell the audience a little bit. Just tell them a little bit about yourself, Fetrell, please.
Well, I am a recipient of a heart transplant, and a little bit about me. I was actually born in Miami because my mother was a student when she graduated from college from Florida Memorial. So I was born in Miami, but reared and raised right here in Jacksonville. And I am a Viking, class of 1988. And any of my classmates are here. Love you guys. Love you, love you, love you. But my journey started when I was about 32 years old. My biological father actually passed away when he was about 35 from cardiomyopathy. And I discovered when I was 32 that I had cardiomyopathy. So I've been on this journey for about 12 years now, which ultimately resulted in me having a full transplant.
Wow, wow, wow. 32. So, unlike some people who don't know their family history, you were able to learn your family history. And you also have another relative that has
Yes, my
history.
brother is, he found out when he was 32 also. Both of us have heart conditions. His is not as severe as mine was. Um, thank God we don't have any habits that would have contributed to it. The doctors are saying it's idiopathic. And if you know anything about medicine, that means that they cannot explain why this situation happened. But we have the same parents, we have the same mom and dad. So it has to be some kind of correlation between both of us and our parents.
Okay. Okay.
Um,
Well, and again, that's very, very important to know if people don't know. If you don't know your biological parents, that's unfortunate that some people don't know and know that this can happen, to them. So, God bless you all for being obedient and knowing, hey, we need to follow through. And once you found out, you knew your brother had to do the same thing. And so let me say all the Vikings that's on my two sorors that's on here too, Sante and Sheila. Hey y'all, how y'all doing? I just want to make sure I did that. And you just said something, but we're gonna come back. We're gonna come back to it. So your journey started. How did you end up at Mayo?
well, I had a regular cardiologist. At the time, I was an employee at AT&T, and I thought I had like pneumonia, or I just figured I had a really bad cold. So I decided to go to my primary physician. And when I went to her, she put me on the machine and did an EKG and said, "Oh, you're going to the emergency." And I was like, "Okay, well, I'm going to go get in the car." And ironically, my mom had decided to come with me.
Okay.
And thank God she did, because she said, "Oh no, you're not going in the car. You're going in the ambulance."
Oh.
So they put me in the back of the ambulance and took me to the hospital. That's when I found out, the condition was really severe. And so from that point, I went to, a lot of people should be familiar with Dr. Ashi. He's a cardiologist here. His wife is actually a gynecologist. Both of them are physicians. But he called me in like on 4 o'clock in the afternoon on a Friday and told me there was nothing else that he could do for me. And that I would have to go over to the Mayo Clinic, and that I actually needed a heart. So when I went over to the Mayo Clinic, they were still located in St. Luke's, which is now a different hospital. But when I got there, I met Dr. Yip. He's been my doctor for the last 12 years, along with the team of doctors there. But that was like my primary cardiologist.
Okay.
And when I met him, I told him, "I'm going to be your first miracle. Regardless of what you're telling me, regardless of what you're saying, I'm going to be the first miracle that you have." And that's what the Lord has done for me. He's made me his first miracle.
Yeah, that sounds like Dr. Yip.
Yeah.
I know her well. That hi Dr. Yip, just in case you watch. But yeah, that does sound. But I just remember class of '88. You all owe me nothing. You owe me nothing. When I tell you the love that reigns class of '88, my husband's class showed me and my family during that time, during April 24th, 25th, during that whole time that my husband was sick. And after he passed, nothing but love. I feel like I'm an honorary class of '88. Nothing
Well,
but
you
love.
are. You are.
Oh,
You're an
well,
extension
thank
of
you.
here. You are.
I have nothing but love for class of '88. I mean, just the outpouring of love. I'm forever grateful. Class
And
of '88 can do no wrong.
I have to tell you too that I knew of him, but I didn't really know him. But one of
Mhm,
my classmates, and if she's listening or she listens in the future, but
mhm.
Misty McCrae, she was a drum major. I think she's actually the first girl drum major at Rains.
Missy,
She and I
really?
were in the band together. She
Okay.
told me that he was there. And
Okay.
so when she told me, I went and Miss Linda, everybody knows Miss Linda. I asked Miss Linda, did she know him? And she said yes. And she told
Mhm.
me she knew you. And what she said about you is definitely true. She said you were
Oh,
so sweet and nice and loving. And you are. You are. You just have a warm, beautiful spirit.
thank you.
But she told me, and I said, "Well, what room is he in?" So she told me what room he was in.
Mhm.
I went to the room, I met him, and the first thing I saw was these humongous shoes on the floor. I said, "Excuse me, but what size is that?"
15. 15.
And he was just a loving, loving person, and we had a blast. But Dr. Yip actually cares about his patients more than just medical. He
Mhm.
cares about the mental health, your mental status, because that's part of the battle.
Mhm.
Being able to push forward, when things look really bleak.
Mhm.
So he asked me to go in after my visit with him and talk to him. And so
Okay.
that's how we met.
Okay.
And then
Okay.
while I was talking to him, he put you on the phone. And
He
that's
did.
when I met you. And then that's when everything kind of opened up
All
with the
right.
classmates and everything. That's how
Yeah.
everything.
Again, nothing but love. Yeah, my late husband, he had like maybe he had a whole lot. He had maybe five, six, seven pairs of shoes in the hospital because he would do all the walking. And
Mhm.
so, with him being a size 15, it was like, okay, I'm gonna just put them right here. But when he wanted to switch them out, I'll bring the suitcase and I'll just switch out the shoes. But everybody would be looking at his shoes like, good Lord, what size shoe you wear? But
Okay.
he's 6'1", 300 pounds. What are we gonna do?
Yes.
So
Yes.
what are we gonna do? So we appreciate that. So you started this journey, and once they told you you needed a heart, what did you do? How did you handle that?
I've had a lot of medical issues, in my life. The heart condition actually went into I was on dialysis for like 2 years. And again,
Okay.
the nephrologist, I told him, this is not where I'm supposed to be. I'm not
Mhm.
supposed to be in here on dialysis, and I'm coming out of here. And I did. I
Come
came
on,
out of that too.
come on,
So
come on.
I just always just prayed and asked the Lord to lead me and guide me. And I just always told myself, if I'm not here, then I'm in the presence of the Lord.
Hmm.
What better place to be than to be in the presence of the Lord? That's why we're here. We're here to do whatever He called us to do, but we're also here to make it to the kingdom. So
Come
one
on.
day we do have to go.
Yeah, yeah. That
One day
for
we have to
every,
go to the kingdom. So that's the way that I live my life.
right.
I know one day that I'm going to have to go to the kingdom, but while I'm here, I'm going to be obedient. I'm going to let people know that the Lord is here. He can save you. He can
Hmm.
heal you. Look at what He's done for my life.
Come on now. Yeah, come
Look what
on.
He's done for me.
Right.
Over and over again, continually. I have so many stories. It will probably be 10 hours on here trying to
Well, look,
tell you.
so we just have part one, part two, part three. It's okay. We got time. We got time. This is my show. I could do it. I could do it. We could do what you need to do because everybody has to understand that for every test, there's a testimony.
Oh,
And
yes.
you being on here right now, telling somebody, hey, it's not too late. If he did it for me, he could do it for you. And so, again, thank you for sharing. Thank you for sharing that message of hope for somebody out there right now. So it was. Well, how long did you wait? How long were you on the list? What was the process
Well,
for you to be on the list?
actually, that was the second time that I was on the list. I was on the list once before, and I was in the hospital at Mayo for about 45 days. And at that
Mm,
time, I was needing two organs. The heart was
okay.
just so weak that it was affecting the kidneys, and that's when I ended up on dialysis.
Okay.
But the Lord brought me out of that. Was managed or whatever to get me back where I did not need the dialysis, but the heart kind
Ooh.
of stabilized just a little bit. But then back in 2018, it started going backwards again.
Okay. So
So
wait, I, I just want them. I want to make sure they heard you say
yes,
that you were on dialysis for how
yes,
long?
2 years.
And you did not have to have a kidney transplant.
No.
Y'all better shout, tell the Lord thank you.
Mhm,
Hello. Like that
mhm.
that doesn't happen. That does not happen often.
No.
Okay, so that's miracle one. That's
Miracle
miracle
one.
number one. Okay,
So,
let's move forward.
so the process, it's a process to actually be on the list. You cannot
Yeah,
smoke, no drugs. Your
right,
weight has to be where it needs to be. You have to be compliant to what they tell you to do, and that was one
right.
of the things that I do. They even do a psychological
Huh.
test to
Yeah.
make sure your mind is physically, because everything that you go through in a life is all about your mind. It's a battleground in the mind. If you can overcome that, you can basically overcome it.
Yes.
And that's what
Yeah.
I've always done. It's the battleground in the mind. So
Okay.
um, that process, there's several shots, there's several exams. I mean, you spend like a week, basically living at Mayo on a daily basis, trying to basically get qualified to be on the list.
Right.
So I passed everything that I needed to do with that, with God's grace and mercy. They put me on the list. And I think I was
Mhm.
on the list for about maybe like a year and a half. And,
Okay.
and I have to tell you how I got the phone call. That's the most.
Oh, I love that part. I love that part. Go
That
ahead.
is the most important part. I was actually had gone to church, And after service, well, during the service, they were asking if you wanted the Lord to deliver you from something to come to the altar. I don't know, how many people on here are spiritual believers, but there is power at the altar.
Come
When
on
you
now.
get down on your knees and you surrender to God and give him that, then he takes over the
Mm,
rest. And
mm.
I mean, immediately when I got in the car, I saw the mail was calling me and I was like, why are they calling me on a Sunday afternoon? I didn't even think this was a transplant. I had no idea. So, um, one of the doctors, I can't remember which one right now, called me and he said, would you like a heart? And I said, huh? He said, would you like a heart? I said, are you serious? He was like, would you like the heart? I was like, yes, I'm going. He said, well, you have to be here in an hour. So I saw my mom and dad leaving in their car. And I was like, hey, we got to go to the hospital. And they were like, why? Are you sick? I was like, no, they have a heart. They have a heart. So immediately everybody in the parking lot kind of saw me. My pastor, all the church members, everybody just went into a quick prayer. And me and my mom, she got in the car with me. My dad went to the house so he can kind of pick up some stuff and bring it, to Mayo. And we were in the car, and anybody that lives in Jacksonville, my church is off of Kings Road. Now
Okay.
we could have got on 95 to JTB. We
Mm-hmm.
took the long way, all the way to Mayo, down Beach Boulevard, light after light after light after light.
What?
I don't know how we did it, but it was just like it was almost like I wanted to just talk to my mom, to make
Okay.
sure she was going to be okay. If
Okay.
for some
Okay.
reason the Lord decided to bring me home.
Okay.
And it was just a pleasant, nice conversation, and we just rolled all the way there. But the
Oh,
funnier thing is when I got there and I told the lady I was there for a transplant, and I had just come from church, so I
mhm.
was fully dressed,
You-
hair, earrings, heels, everything. The lady was like, "Are you sure?" I'm like, "Yeah."
Let the Lord do his job now.
Yes, but it was the best call ever, the best call I ever received in my life.
I would concur. I concur.
Yes,
My
yes,
goodness.
the best call I ever received.
Oh, wow. After the altar, you got the call.
Yes, after the altar,
Good
yes.
Lord. Good Lord. So you received your transplant what day? What year?
It was January 13th of 2020.
Okay.
So right
Okay.
before COVID exploded, I got the transplant.
Oh
And
wow.
that process, it's again, it's a battle of the mind. It is they pulled me in. It was about 2 or 3 o'clock when I got there. And
Okay.
they didn't actually do it till like 10 o'clock at night. They come and
Okay.
get you, the family say bye, and they roll you down the hall and they put you on the table and they ask you your name. And next thing you know, I woke
Yeah.
up in the room.
Right.
But the good part of the whole thing is I know people worry, what about this and what about that? It's you don't remember anything. I don't remember anything, nothing except for saying my name. That was it.
Wow.
Everything else was pretty much smooth. I had a few complications, but the Lord and Mayo were able to handle that. The only
Mhm.
thing that was really overwhelming for me is the amount of medication that you receive afterwards.
Right. Right.
It's about 15, 16 pills, 3, 4 times a day. And, nobody knows but me and the Lord that was a little bit overwhelming for me. But I
Okay.
had to maintain because I didn't want my mom to fall apart. I didn't want
Okay.
my family to be worried, about me or whatever.
Okay.
So I just took it in and just roll right with it.
Okay. And so now we in 2022. Are you still taking the same amount of medication?
I am, and actually the medication does decrease.
Right.
A lot of the pills that I was on initially actually have gone away, but I have had a few complications in between everything that's going on right now. And last year, when the pandemic really broke out, I caught COVID. I ended up in
Okay.
the hospital. I was home for a month, and it just never got better. So I
Okay.
went in. That was my next miracle.
Okay.
I went in, they tested me up the nasal cavity and they said, oh, you don't have it, but I was still having all of the symptoms.
Mhm.
So they did another test and they found out I had it.
Okay.
So I was in there for about 2 weeks. Then I had to spend 2 weeks at home. And then this year, when I got ready for my 2-year checkup,
Mhm.
lo and behold, I had it again.
Oh, wow. What? So So people can get COVID more than once.
Yes, they can.
See? And
So
a lot of people just feel like, oh no, you get it once, you won't get it again. But
please, I'm begging you, be careful.
okay,
Especially if you are immunocompromised, be careful. You still should be wearing a mask. Do not go out without it. It's not worth it.
yeah, yeah.
It's not all the way 100% preventable because I had double mask, shield, and gloves, but I'm
Mm,
on drugs. I'm on medication that suppresses my own immune system so that the heart will still function in the body.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
So I don't have a choice, but I still wear everything,
Okay, okay,
everything.
okay. Well, I'm glad to see that you did make it, and
Yes.
twice, and twice, and you did it. So you are overcomer. You just overcome so much. And please let me say
Yes.
hello to Misty. Hello, Misty. Hello, hello, hello. Um, again, class of '88. Nothing but love for y'all. Nothing but love. For class of '88. So, my next question for you is for the people that are on the fence about becoming organ donors, what would you tell them?
That's a very difficult thing for people to decide. One of my classmates actually shared with me that they came to her when one of her children passed away. She just didn't think about it. You're so overwhelmed with grief when somebody actually passes away. So, my advice would be for anybody that's living right now, just click the button on your driver's license, go online and just do it. And then nobody won't have to make that decision. You made it for them.
Right.
You'll make the whole process easier. And then when you think
Mm,
about it, when you really sit down and think about it, you might regret that you didn't make the decision to allow
mm,
somebody else to have that opportunity. The
wow.
first thing I thought about when I woke up was the person who sacrificed, their family and the person that then, decided to let me have this. I prayed for them daily that they would be able to handle the loss of a loved one. And that's where my drive comes from because I feel like they gave up someone so that I can push. So when I have sometimes slumpy days, I'm like, oh no, we're not doing
Mm,
that. Somebody
mm,
somebody gave me this to keep moving. And that's what I do.
wow. And you did it, and just in time because you did first show for April, and here you are. Like it's always in God's timing. Everything is done in God's timing. So for you to come on and share again, whether you're watching it now or you're watching the replay, I always want you to consider to become an organ donor. Just consider becoming an organ donor. And you could definitely, go to my website, which is save1000lives.squarespace.com and click on, get involved and become an organ donor. I do this show in honor of my late husband so that everybody can know it doesn't matter what you're going through, what journey. People are on this journey to get a second chance at life, but all our the destinations are different. They are at different times. But if you could help save the life of somebody else, nobody's coming after your organs right now. Let's be clear. Nobody's coming after your organs right now, but just in case. And even if you don't want it on your driver's license, you can go to donatelifeflorida.org and you can say, I don't want it on my license, but I want to become a organ donor because of that myth of if I get into a car accident, then they're not going to save my life. So let's just put that out, cast that out of your mind, and let's just make this decision. So, Fetrell, if you had the opportunity to meet your organ donor's family, would you like to meet them one? And what would you want to tell them?
I would love to meet them. I want to let them know that because of them, I'm able to spread the love back to my family, back to the community. I'm able to complete the mission that I know the Lord has for me because He's spoken to me all through the COVID. He showed me exactly what I'm supposed to be doing. So my mission is to bring people to Christ. That's my whole mission out of everything. During
Mm.
this whole time, I was a full-time student at Flagler College. And guess what? I graduate this year.
Come on, congratulations.
I graduate this year. I work for the city of Jacksonville as a part-time employee. I
Mm-hmm.
do decoration, flowers, I do a whole lot. And I want to let them know that they did not waste their loved one's life by giving me that. And that's my
Oh,
whole drive is to push and
oh
to let
man.
people understand, that regardless of what you're going through, whatever you're going through, the Lord has an answer for it. And
Mm.
he has a way to make things happen. All you have to do is just trust and believe in him.
Come on. Come on. Oh, ye of little faith. I just want y'all to see what a walking miracle looks like.
Yes.
On dialysis, didn't have to get a kidney transplant. Received, after going to the altar, received a phone call to receive a heart. Had COVID twice and beat it. Let me tell you something. You just can't beat God's giving. That's all I can say
No,
for
no.
that. I don't care how
I
you try.
have received even I've received so many gifts. One of my classmates actually gave me a car. I had like a full scholarship from the school. I mean, the blessings are just overwhelming. Everywhere I turn around is always something that the Lord has blessed me with. So all I want to do is just give a little bit back for what
Mm,
He's given me.
mm. And she's doing it right here on Transplant Talk with Nashonda,
Yeah.
ladies and gentlemen. And I was super excited about that. And I think if anybody watches this show again and you just kind of question your faith, and if you question, God's love for you, look at her. Look at her. This is prime example of God's love, God's grace. And if you heard her, she said, I wanted to prepare my mother just in case we're having that long ride. And Beach Boulevard is a long ride.
Yes, it
Um,
is.
to go down Beach Boulevard to Mayo. Let me tell you, that is a long ride. But just to have that conversation with your mom, and then boom, here you are. So I'm pretty sure your family in January, you actually happy belated birthday because you
Yes.
just celebrated a birthday March 30th. So
Yes. Mhm.
congratulations, happy birthday on all your success, all your endeavors. Is there something else that you want to do now? You since you've conquered
You know
all
what?
of them?
Yes, and I have shared it with some people already, but and Dr. Yip and um, Jenny actually retired. If anybody knows her, she retired. I shared it with her, and I
Okay.
shared it with Nancy before she left Mayo too. But I'm actually going into the nursing field. I
What?
feel like I know so much. There's a couple of things that happened in my family. My dad was really ill, and a lot of the stuff that I know, I was able to walk him through it, walk our whole family through a lot of things that was going on. So I know that I will be a benefit on the medical end and the spiritual end for somebody.
Where you go,
So that's
girl?
my next journey,
Oh wow! Like,
along with ministry.
huh?
Figuring it out.
Alone. Well, you doing that. You doing that already. Look, and everybody saying happy birthday, congratulations to you. Wow, 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 wow. I'm pretty sure class of 88 is very proud of you for for everything that you're doing. Like my goodness, that is absolutely awesome that you would want to do, go into the nursing field. Now, do you know a specialty that you want, or you just know you want to be a nurse?
No, no, I just know I want to do it.
Okay. Okay. I don't know. Maybe that'll lead you into heart,
Maybe it will.
cardiology.
Maybe it
Wow.
will.
Maybe it will. I don't know. I'm going to leave it at that. I'm going to leave it at that. I think that's an awesome thing. So many people that have been through something similar said, hey, we want to do the same thing and go into medicine, as well. And who knows what your donor might have done for that to just be put into your heart. And
Mhm.
that's just beautiful. That is
That's why I
absolutely
cannot
beautiful.
wait to, they have to receive a letter from
Mm-hmm.
me. The social worker actually gives it to them, and then they
Mm-hmm.
have to consent, and then they can actually meet me. But it's a few things that I did not do before, like
Okay.
animals come up to me and they sit down next to me, and I'm not an animal person. It's not like I don't like them, I didn't grow up with it, but I'm just not
Mhm.
an animal person. But
Okay.
they just come and sit next to me, and I have this all craving for bananas
Oh,
all
really?
I don't know where that came from either. So I would
Oh,
love to know a little bit more about the donor.
well, listen, as soon as you do, we're gonna have part two with your donor
Okay.
family. With your
Okay.
donor, see, I like to get in here early, so we'll have part two. You meet your donor family, and hopefully, it's a beautiful experience, and they can hear. I know so many people like to hear their loved one's heartbeat, so
Yes.
I think that that would be a beautiful thing. Thank you so much, Fetrell,
Thank you. Thank
for
you.
sharing and being a part of the Transplant Talk Nation. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Let me
Thank
see.
you for all that you do and all that you're continuing to do. God
Thank
bless
you. Thank you. I do it for God. I do it because it's what God told me to do. And that's it. I didn't listen to him one time and I was like, oh, never again.
you.
No,
Yes.
never again. Never again. I will be listening. So and thank you, Misty. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. So I'm gonna leave it on that note. But let me just say, last week I had the opportunity to meet my soror, Judge Rhonda Peoples Waters, who's the first African American female here in Jacksonville to be elected. They voted her into office. So I met her last Thursday, which is why I didn't do the show. And then today, to see the confirmation of the first Black Supreme Court judge, I am overjoyed. Like, what a good Thursday. Thank God Thursday it is. So, congratulations to these two women.
Mhm.
That is powerful.
Yes,
That
it
is
is.
powerful. So, with that being said, tune in next week for another episode of Transplant Talk with Nashonda. And I cannot wait for you all to meet my very special guest. My mama say happy birthday. And we are going to go out on that. Thank you all. Make sure that you text, tell, and tag somebody and share, share, share. And with that being said, we're going to play this video and we are out. So I'm going to just put us in the back and I'll be on the other side. Y'all
Okay.
have a good night. All right. I'll see you shortly. Okay. Okay. Bye bye. Oh, my coworker coming to get a shirt. Oh, I didn't see somebody else said something. That was just divine. That was
I hope my
divine.
mom was able. I hope she was able to connect.
Listen, I'll send it to you so she'll be able to see it. It'll be on your page, but I'll send you the
Okay,
YouTube
good.
link.
Send it to me. Send it to me.
Yeah, I'll send you the YouTube link as soon as
Okay,
it.
okay. Let me know what else. Let me know about your events too. Let me know about your events because I want to start
Okay,
working in the
okay.
community a little bit too.
I got now that COVID is
Okay.
dying down
Yes.
a little bit. I'll be able to do that. I'm tell you this. I have a friend that just moved back here from Jacksonville, and he moved back from New Orleans, and he is a videographer. I want to be able to
Okay.
start here in Jacksonville, and doing documentaries like you, not just YouTube, but um, Netflix. I want to be able to
Mm-hmm.
tell y'all stories and put it on a big screen. Like that's my goal. Besides having my Larimore house, like the Gabriel house, I want to have a
Yeah.
Larimore in honor of my husband. So 2023, that's my goal to have a Larimore
Are you
house.
going to do that on Mayo's campus or would just be located like, because my mom and I talked about doing something for families, you know, the ones that have to come here.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
that's Larimore's. It will be on that side of town near them. So if
Okay.
rescue has to come, they're not far away. Um,
Mhm.
I never thought about doing it on their land or anything like that. I just want to be able to have a little place for them to be able to come. And if they can't go back home, then they have that because Gabriel House gets full sometimes and everybody can't stay there. So
Yeah. Yeah.
I know He's working on it and
Yes.
it'll just be bigger and better. But I want to retire from teaching and I want to be able to have that, and I want to be able. It's 100,000 people need a transplant.
Yeah, it is. It
That's
is.
a lot of that. That's a lot. So, and we got to be able to
It
help
is.
them, and that's what I want to do. I want to be able to help. I want to be able to tell a story, just like A Question of Faith. I want to be able to tell a story. That's a whole movie, but just to, I always wanted a movie for my husband. Um, but I was just in his life for such a short time, so it don't have to be all 48 years. But it was just
Mhm.
in that. So if I can get a movie done with that from the NFL to CHF, congestive heart failure, and he also had the LVAD. So you didn't have the LVAD, right?
No, the first time they were almost about to put that in me.
Okay.
Because it was, my heart was just so weak. And you know what? The crazy thing about when I got the transplant,
Mm-hmm.
by the blood not flowing or whatever, when I was laying there one day and I was like, what's that? And so the nurse said, you heard your heart, didn't you? I said, what is that? My heart was so terrible
Oh,
that I never, it was just that bad. My
so you were
whole
in single
skin,
digits.
everything just changed. All the dark spots, everything just lightened up. I had a
So
really,
you,
my heart was terrible. It was just awful.
Wayne's
Go ahead.
was too. When his was as well. His was he was in single digits by the
Yeah, I
time
was
they
too.
were yeah. And his
Yeah, it was
heart had
pretty.
enlarged. His
Yeah,
heart had
that's what I
enlarged.
had. I had that
Enlarged
too.
heart. Yeah. So
Mhm.
it was.
My brother has the
Well, is
same
he gonna
thing,
need
and
a transplant too?
it's just,
Oh, hold on. I think she's here.
he's
Are you here,
he's a
lady?
little bit hard headed.
Okay. All right. I'll be down in a second. Okay. All right. Thank
Okay.
you so much. My coworker
Hey.
that came here. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay.
And
We'll get back together.
I,
All right.
all righty. Okay. Bye bye. All right.
All right. See you later. Bye bye.
Bye bye. All right.